Hear that? It's your phone. Again. Who is it? Oh, that guy? Again? He's been texting you every day, at least once a day, for a while now. Maybe you're into it, maybe you're just friendly, or maybe it's freaking you out. No matter what the case, when a guy texts you every day, what does that mean? Depending on your situation, we have 10 possible meanings behind this behavior. And keep an eye out, this guy might have more than one motive. Number 1, you're constantly on his mind. If he texts you every day, it's a no-brainer that you're stuck in his head. Otherwise, no one would contact you every day. It's just simple math. Why you're on his mind is a different story that will break down in the following meanings. Regardless of his feelings, he thinks of you at least once a day and it pushes him enough to contact you. This usually happens when we have an intense emotion. I know I've only texted 2 groups of people every day. The first is my girls, my day ones, my best friends. The second is people that I like romantically. That's just me though. Maybe some weirdos think about people they don't care about every day. What do I know? Number 2, he worries about you. Someone who texts you every day could also do so to check in on you. While I might not worry too much about my parents, I know they do worry about me and will text me fairly often if I'm away or somewhere new. The same could happen when you have a guy who wants to protect you. This doesn't mean he thinks you're weak or anything. Instead, it's really showing that he cares about you and wants to make sure you're all right. This reason is probably the case if you're going through a rough patch and he knows about it. He's either a good friend or a good potential future boyfriend. Number 3, he wants to learn more about you. If this gentleman only texts you a dry hi and bye, he's got to step his game up a little. If, on the other hand, he texts you asking about your day or initiating fun and new topics of conversation, he's definitely trying to get to know you better. Maybe you guys don't coincide in person or he's just more comfortable testing the waters via phone, but he's definitely trying to learn about who you are as a person, what makes you tick, and potentially whether or not you two really click. I mean, they call it the talking stage of pre-dating for a reason, right? You have to talk often. Number 4, he wishes he could spend more time with you. Sometimes hanging out face-to-face is impossible because of distance or schedules or even family. But with technology nowadays, there is no excuse for not speaking to someone you want to speak to. I reference an ex of mine in a lot of videos lately, but it's because I learned some great lessons from that relationship that I want to pass on. I really wanted to be with him and hang out with him during our relationship, and I was always the one texting him every day. He was a terrible texter, to me anyway, and ended up pulling some shady behavior that wrecked our relationship. This goes to show that the person who wants things to work will put the effort in to speak to you no matter what, and vice versa. Number 5, he's a dedicated guy. Most guys I know can't even commit to drinking enough water every day, so there's something dedicated about a guy who texts you 7 days a week. We've got to note it. Number 6, he wants to know if you're into him. Most people can take a hint, and if not, they quickly learn their lesson. Let's use the most basic example of a guy texting a girl every day. She's enthusiastic, always answers him, and maybe even texts him first sometimes. Green light. Second situation. He texts her every day. She answers hours later, her conversation is dry, and she sometimes leaves him on red. Red light. That's a big hint that she isn't into him. A good 97% of guys text a girl they're interested in to get some hints as to whether or not she's feeling him back. Number 7, he's not afraid to show his emotions. Some people might consider texting every day to be a little over the top. I'm personally a huge, corny, love-to-love gal, so I think it's endearing and sweet, but that's my personality. No matter your opinion on it, a guy putting in that much effort isn't afraid to show his emotions. He knows you're likely going to pick up on the fact that he's into you or trying to get to know you, and he's cool with it. This hopefully points to a no-games kind of guy. Number 8, he's either into you or a huge player. Now, texting every day isn't always peaches and roses. Is that even a saying? Maybe not. Anyway, there is a potential dark side. This guy is either into you and a bunch of other girls at the same time. So, how do you know if he's a player or the real deal? Players will usually text you late at night or only to hang out. Their texting won't ever be deep, and they usually lead with flirty texts. A guy who's into you and only you, though, will be sweet, text consistently and across topics, and not always look to plan a Netflix and chill. Number 9, he likes you. Perhaps the most obvious reason that a guy would text you every day is that he likes you. Duh! Have you ever wanted to talk to someone you don't like consistently? Didn't think so. Number 10, or he's obsessed with you. On the flip side, we've always got to consider that this guy could potentially be a little obsessive. If you give him blunt clues that you need space or can't talk right now, but he pushes along, this could be a red flag. There is a fine line between persistence and pushiness, so keep your eyes peeled out there, ladies. After reading these meanings behind daily texts and thinking about your conversations with this guy, what's your conclusion? Is he a hopeless romantic or a dud who can't take the hint? Are you into it or kind of weirded out? Would love to hear the what and why in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to help us out with a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.